Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. We're going to talk about everything narcissist. Basically, we already know that they have that grandiose sense of self-importance. They have a need, fantasies of power, success. They think they're unique, and all of them really need this type of admiration or at least attention. They have this feeling of entitlement. They're exploitive throughout their relationships. They don't seem to have a lack of empathy, and that is where this goes wrong. Sometimes when we're in these relationships, we can't exactly see what happened. It's a lot of it is their thought process. They flip-flop us between that intermittent reinforcement. They'll call us a name and then they say they're joking. They start manipulating our sense of reality because during that love bombing stage, we had a comfort, we had time with them, they had given us attention. And, these narcissists are envious of other people. And that's where they start to demean other people, diminish, sabotage things. They also have that arrogant type of attitude or self-centered type of attitude. Your vulnerable ones will play the victim more often, but there's that TUDOR that's pretty famous on YouTube. And a lot of people kind of wonder, is he a narcissist or not? He has stated that he is. He's been diagnosed with it. He was dating somebody who was going for her psychology degree. And she said, I think you kind of have this. And it turns out he does. So as we're learning from these narcissists, the self-aware, they do sometimes give either really good insight, advice. What is really interesting is they tell you, stay away from us, stay away from us. So they know that they can be horrible people. And they still want to have relationships. They want to either some of them are married, some of them are dating, but they basically say, stay away from them, stay away from them. But they'll take a wife, they'll take on a boyfriend, they'll take on whatever, because it fulfills them. They know they're these horrendous people who don't treat people right. And, people are people. And this is what makes it really hard as an empathetic person. We know that people need love to thrive, to survive. And often we feel like we can fix people. But as we're fixing people or saving people, it's kind of like saving a drowning person. Sometimes you save that person, but you're risking your life doing it, because a drowning person will pull you down. They're in panic mode. And the narcissist goes into this panic mode of their life. They're just not happy. They're trying everything to satisfy their needs, just like a drowning victim. They just need that breath of air. And, we're sitting there helping them. And a lot of times they pull us down. And a lot of times too, it's like, if you were to save a drowning person, they might thank you. You don't really know them. They go about their life. They might look back and be appreciative or at least think about it. The narcissist, sometimes they do think about the people in their past, not very often. Sometimes it's just a fleeting, like, that was nice, or I miss the supply. But just like they keep saying, it's like we fell in love with somebody who's not even there. And it's that lack of connection that is so hard. But the narcissist TUDOR, he has said a lot of things. He says he understands, because of his level of intelligence and awareness, that people do think what he does is hurtful. And he says, but I don't care about that, because it meets my needs. So the self-aware know that they destroy relationships, yet they still want them. So if you want to be back with your narcissist, they know how to treat people, because they can state what is wrong with narcissistic relationships. They can understand what is wrong. They give examples this is a crappy way to talk to people. And they still are saying how horrible people they can be. They're not saying, give us a chance. Take that to heart. They're not saying, give us a chance. Realize that we're good people on the inside. And it's kind of like, a double-edged sword where, you're going to get hurt either way. And there's really not a treatment. Some people say that the narcissist gets worse with age. Some people say they get better. All depends on what their needs are. And we never know what's going to come in life. So if you have a lack of money later in life and you're married or with a narcissist, you're going to go through hell. You're going to go through hell if you need some medical care. The narcissist, if you can't fulfill their needs when they're sick, maybe their needs are not necessarily to take care of their health. Maybe their needs, narcissists don't like to get bored. So if they're having some struggles with their health and they're stuck at home, they're not getting the need of public admiration, and they're going to take it out on you. Narcissists are all different, but in the end, they are all without empathy. And, is it really on the rise? A lot of them say that there's a narcissism epidemic. In the United States, we do seem to have more entitlement. The thing that kind of scares me is we're trying to do the right thing. All people are created equal. And then people feel entitled. They don't have to work to achieve this equality. And we've been terrible to different races, different religions. So we're trying to rebalance it. But during this rebalance, it can be kind of dangerous. It'd be nice if we just had a clean slate and then everybody earned or earn their way in life. We're treating horrible people the same as people who are kind-hearted. We're all entitled. You try to be politically correct, even just in the way I'm talking to you guys. Everybody is their own person. And this is where it gets difficult, is the individualization, but mixed with equality is making it difficult, because everybody feels that they're special and they need to stand out. It's not always about being equal. And it's like a strive to the top that we're trying to get to. And it's starting to get to be a dog eat dog world. And, we coddle society growing up. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a ribbon. Everybody gets this and that. And we try so hard to be fair that we take away people achieving things. So people don't want to work harder. People just feel that they're supposed to get it. And that's kind of like, I don't know. It just kind of like breaks my heart, all the things that I've gone through, all the things you guys have gone through, just based on somebody feeling entitled, somebody feeling better than, not willing to compromise, and the whole facade, the whole fake image, the future promises that they gave us, the monkey branching, how they promise us everything and then they can instantly just move on. They're just going to whatever is easier or whatever gives them more status or more money. They're in survival mode, and they're also like hoarders of supply. they will hoard supply. They'll take it from you. They'll take it from somebody else. They'll take it, whatever they can get. And they just leave an empty shell of a person at the end, so I want you to be really aware of, they had that saying of letting somebody live in your head rent free. So if you want to get back with somebody like that, or even just in a healthy relationship, people need to work or invest in things to appreciate them. And this is where things kind of go south, is we've basically said, you have my unconditional love. And sometimes it scares them away because they don't feel worthy of them. So they'll drop us. Other times they'll take advantage of it and make it life a living hell. They'll say what they need to say to get what they want. They'll lie to us. They'll say just enough to put a seed of doubt in our heads. And they play those games with hiding things, or changing things, or saying they never said something. Sometimes they do it on purpose. Sometimes they do it to cover a lie. Other times they do it because they do have blocks in their memory. And it's sometimes a game. Sometimes it's because they want to avoid confrontation. They definitely don't want to take accountability. And it can be over the littlest things. And each relationship that they go through, they destroy. And they might become a little more aware that they need to change their actions to get what they want. So are they really healing? They're just learning how to get what they want a little bit better. Let me say that again. Are they really healing? No. They're learning later in life. They have to change how they act. They don't have their looks as much. Maybe they do or don't have enough money, but if they don't have enough money, they have to rely on people. They can't just pay people to do things. Also, what they feel inside. They need the admiration. And, they just become more manipulative. So they're not being cured. And you see, like I said, the self-aware narcissists, they know what they're doing. And based on, H.G. TUDOR, he says, I think that the way society has shifted, it's become more narcissistic. And alongside that, it's cultivating more narcissists. And that's definitely true because, narcissistic parents raising children in a narcissistic family is going to cause those kids to have, the brain damage and the lashing out and the needs that they're not getting as a child. So much of our future is based on our childhood. How we interact with people, the way we perceive things. They talk about the superego, the id and the ego. And, like your ego is your sense of self, and your id is, usually said as like the good. And the superego is kind of like the bad, like the narcissist. The superego is basically created through other people. And as children are growing up, the superego is absorbing perceptions. And, when you try to balance the good versus the bad, the perception that the narcissist has taken is from unhealthy relationships, unhealthy views. How do you handle a situation? Punch them dead in the nose. Or a different parent might say, get an adult to help you, or talk it through with a person. But it's based on childhood. And, we come into this relationship with a narcissist thinking that we're safe. And then everything is just turned on us. And sometimes that's more in a romantic relationship. But if you're in like a relationship with a coworker, you're kind of stuck dealing with these people, kind of like families. Sometimes you're stuck dealing with them, at least in your childhood. And, hopefully you guys grew up in a somewhat healthy family. And that's what the narcissist sees as an easy way in, a kind person. This person, sometimes they'll give you a sob story. A lot of you, even after all of this, some of the comments that I get are like, I just feel so bad for them. Are they ever gonna, really be happy? I feel bad for them. And it's time to feel bad for ourselves. They put us into such a state of a trauma bond and feeling like we're losing everything. And we invested so much that it is that we're losing everything. We gave our whole self over to them. And, instead of walking away, that trauma bond is strong. And it's so hard to get over. The longer you stay, the deeper the trauma bond is. The longer you stay does not mean that the relationship's going to get better. It does not mean that the narcissist is going to change. The narcissist is only going to get better at manipulating. So these self-aware narcissists that are all over YouTube, like I said, they do give good advice, but they still have that anger. They still have that unsettledness inside them. And they're trying to change their behavior to keep their supply. They're not trying to change their behavior to love more, because they don't get it. They don't understand what true love is. Just like, I don't know, you ask me which food I hate, and I tell you, and you're like, if you just keep eating it, you're going to like it. You're going to like it. I'm still not going to like it. I might figure ways to, put some sugar on it or ketchup or to mask it so I can tolerate it. And that's what the narcissist is doing, is changing their ingredients of manipulation to get the sustenance that they need. And in the end, it's you see this Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, and he had that quote. It was all a lie. You weren't there. You weren't real. We got to be real careful on the words that we do believe, because it is during a court battle. But I believe that was recorded before he met with attorneys who would kind of sway him in what to say. That was a recording that they had before. And he had said, you just weren't real. I loved you, but in the end, you weren't real. And sometimes we look back and we just want to be with this person again, but they're not real, And sometimes in the healing process, it helps to write down the good versus the bad. Like, what are we really missing? Are we missing the cut downs? Are we missing the getting yelled at, or the broken promises, or being blown off? What is it that we're missing? 5% of happiness, 95% of pain? I get it. I've been there. But, social media isn't helping. People are creating these false lives. They're picking the good from their life, and they're posting it up there. Like, look at me. Or they'll only post their beautiful pictures. We all have like our good pictures, our bad pictures. And even just the angles, you can make yourself look thinner or more voluptuous just on your angles, taller, shorter, things like that. So sometimes we're jealous over things that aren't even there, or they're photoshopped, and it kind of puts us into a different, like, man, I'm never going to be good enough. But I want you guys to really realize you are good enough. And, we've gone through all this stuff, and it's so crazy that we apologize. We apologize for things that they do wrong. And we get hurt because we love somebody who, if they loved us and had empathy, they'd at least take a step back and understand what we're saying, or at least question it, or, how dismissive they can be. The silent treatments are deadly. They kill your inner soul. And it's the communication. Words hurt, sometimes can hurt forever. And it can be more damaging than physical pain. And sometimes with a narcissist, you get both the physical and emotional. So it just seems that more and more people are trying to figure out what exactly is narcissism. Some experts say, this shouldn't be in the, a diagnosis. Other people, feel that, it should be based on the 5 out of 9 traits, where it doesn't necessarily have to affect your life negatively in order to get the diagnosis. There's no way to really study narcissism because of all these facades that people with NPD portray. So we're studying something that we don't even know is the truth. You interview somebody, have you ever cheated? How's your relationship with the person you're with? And there's always 2 people in a story too. So you can interview somebody else, but the narcissist has such a way of deceiving. Sometimes you can see straight through it. Other times you can't. And I know it hurts. Sometimes we want to get back with them just to remove the pain. And that's just a Band-Aid. Because of the narcissistic cycle, it's just going to hurt again. They're just going to do it again. They have they're so lacking inside that they get bored. So even when things are good, unless they have chaos in it. Wait a minute. Unless things are good, but they have chaos in it. Does that sound good to you? Where it's always chaotic, it's always stirred up. And this is where it gets confusing too, is we think it's good. Because there are good times with a narcissist. So it seems good. But behind, the downtime, when we're either sleeping or at work or busy with our, regular friends, the narcissist is scheming or shady or bad mouthing us, putting us down, and slowly taking away our reputation. So now we're perceived in a different light to other people. So not only is our relationship with our narcissist fake, when we're trying to go to talk to other people, they already have preconceived notions on who we are. And so then they think that we're putting up a false front. And I had said in a different video that a lot of times, like, the first thing that you're taught kind of sticks in your head. And I given an analogy of, I had a teacher who didn't look pregnant, but it was a student had told me, "Oh, did you realize Mrs. So-and-so is pregnant?" And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah." And it was like 2-3 hours. They're like, "Oh, April Fools." And it was so hard for me to get that out of my head. Lady did not look pregnant, but something inside me was like happy for her. Like, she's going to have a baby. And I heard it once, and then I heard the other side of the story that was just a joke, but I couldn't get that out of my head. It was kind of a struggle. And, so these people that the narcissist gets to first, that's their image of us. I went through that with my court case over a custody battle. Narcissists tainted things. And I don't know, they can be pretty brutal in court cases. A lot of times they'll fight for kids that they don't even want. They'll fight for, I don't know, maybe if you have a family heirloom, all you want is, I don't know, let's say you have a grand piano. All I want is my great-great-grandfather's grand piano. You can have everything else. What does a narcissist do? Guess what they go after? Something they don't even want, just to hurt you. They're very spiteful. And, you know, I've never tried to get revenge. You know, I've always wanted to talk to them to understand it, but I've never been hurtful. That's not who I am. And I don't want you guys to turn into something that you're not. So is that out of character for you to get revenge? There's healthier ways. Don't risk yourself going to jail or getting fines or having to pay back things because you did property damage. Just be real careful on how you handle breakups. You might feel vengeful, but stay true to yourself. And instead of looking at the past, look at the present. What did you do today? You get your relapses and it's hard to snap out of them. But if you get the right amount of rest, start doing things. Definitely start doing things. And make progress every day. Make progress. So when you start to get down, you know, maybe have a list of things that you like to do. You know, give yourself like a list and pick one of those things on it. You know, if you like to go walking, do that. You know, if you like to just kind of window shop, just look at that list. It'll give you some ideas when you're down in the dumps. Like, what do you do? Maybe take a bubble bath. Do some self-care, rub yourself with some lotions or give yourself like a massage. I like to go to a hot tub. There's places you can rent to do that. Where I go, it's $34 for an hour. So there are places to just go relax. Maybe take a friend and just, you know, have some great conversation. I know it's hard, but you guys have this, and just listen to what the narcissists that are self-aware are saying. They're not saying, give us a chance. They're not saying that. They're saying, run. And I know where you guys are at. You know, we saw the good in these people. They're okay at like a superficial level. I've told you guys, you know, I'm not being a hypocrite because I do have narcissistic neighbors. Be careful how close you get to them. Be careful how much you rely on them. If you can keep it superficial, you can say hi to them. You can ask them how their day was. They don't ask how your day was. Not really. Maybe every now and then because they're bored. You know, it's just that connection. So please like and subscribe. If you guys have any topic requests, let me know. Each day will get better and better with a couple ups and downs, but they already stole so much of your life. Take it back and comment some of the great things that you guys are experiencing. I went kayaking and roller skating. So I'll see you guys soon.